Well, I was ready for football last night, and by all accounts, we did get it. Although, let's be honest, that game was Super Bowl 53 all over again. The only difference is both teams' colors were different. But, I still had fun, still had a good time watching, and yeah, I know I ended up being wrong in my pick, but yeah, that was a pretty. I mean, Skip Bayless and Shannon Sharp both predicted it was going to be a low-scoring game. In fact, they both predicted, 20-17 one way or the other. I don't think anyone predicted it'd be 10-3. Like, that's probably the lowest scoring opening game ever in the 100-year history of the NFL. I'm sure someone's probably going to point that out, too. That's the funny part. Someone's probably going to point out that last night's game was probably the lowest scoring football game opener in, 100 years of the NFL. So, it was definitely, it was something. I mean, the entertainment beforehand was great, some of the homages that Al Michaels, Chris Collinsworth, and Michelle LaFoy were doing in terms of wearing those outfits, they were cool. I love how Chris Collinsworth was like, would John Madden wear this? So yeah. So I'll give Aaron Rodgers this. I mean, it's very clear that, I have a prediction that the bottom is going to give out from underneath him in terms of how much control he has and how he's slowly but surely losing the trust of his own teammates in the locker room. It's not going to happen right away. I give it, because either Matt LaFleur is going to have it with Aaron Rodgers or vice versa. Something's going to give. I don't really trust it's going to last that long at all. Oh well. Again, I remember when I used to like Aaron Rodgers. But again, it was either that or Ben Roethlisberger at the time. So, what do you want? Happy Friday, everybody. So, yeah. Talking about football, getting excited for it, that was great. It was fun. Can't wait to watch more this weekend. Excuse me. Still a little bummed that, I couldn't have, there's no One Piece chapter this week, especially considering that, the last chapter kind of ended with the worst possible case scenario ever. And now I have to wait another week before the question can be answered as to what on earth is going to happen next. So that should be great. Although in terms of Hot Ones, it didn't even occur to me that they actually have reunion episodes on Hot Ones either. Last year they had a reunion episode with Eddie Wong, and yesterday they had an episode with Jay Farrow, who is easily one of the best, impressionists in the game, which is definitely not an understatement. He really is, good at it. We can do like Eddie Murphy. He did Keanu Reeves. He did Idris Elba. He did Bill Burr. He did Chris Rock. So, yeah. Oh, and Denzel Washington. He did Denzel Washington. That was pretty funny. Although he did talk about his story of how it was when they were doing Explain That Graham, which is, a tradition on Hot Ones where they do a deep dive on their guest Instagrams. And there actually is a picture of Jay Farrow and Denzel Washington. And they're like posing for the camera just like, I'd be able to recreate it, but I don't like taking selfies. Basically, the story is Jay Farrow meets Denzel Washington, and Denzel like, hey, I know who you are. You owe me money, by the way. And then Jay Farrow's like, holy cow, I actually do. Because my act involves doing impressions of people, and, I can do an impression of Denzel Washington, so, yeah, I do owe him money. So, yeah. It was funny, like, they were talking about who would win a fight between him and Kevin Hart, because he also is, not only is he a comedian, but he's also a bit of a singer, and he's also a gym rat, which, is awesome. So, yeah, it was a very entertaining episode. I can't wait to see what, excuse me. Man, I got used to that again. Holy cow. Considering how late I stayed up last night watching the game. But, it was still fun to watch. And the sad part is it's just 5 after 6 right now. And, yeah, so, considering I also got up early and worked out, I'm sort of feeling a bit of a strain. But, I do it all for you. So, in terms of this weekend going on, nothing important. Today's Friday. I give myself some Ritas on Friday. It's going to be sweet. It's going to be awesome. They actually have a new caramel macchiato flavor for their frozen custard, their frozen custard. So I'm definitely going to try that today. Although, for the most part, the only thing I really buy is a large Swedish fish, because Swedish fish is awesome. I love Swedish fish. Swedish fish is one of my all-time favorite candies, and the fact they have it in Italian ice form is just, it makes me feel so happy knowing that. So, that's always nice. But there are other flavors of Italian ice from there I do like, green apple, key lime, blue raspberry, blood orange, cherry, lemon, like, you name it, chances are I most likely like it. Probably could have said that a little bit better. So, that's neat. Although, I was actually, no kidding, just the other day when I saw my dentist, she actually complimented me on my skin complexion, which I'm like, that's probably the first time, no kidding, that's the first time I've ever been complimented on my skin. I've been complimented on my looks, my personality, all that, but never, solely my skin. It was really cool. And again, I don't moisturize, I don't really do anything, except, I take cold showers after I work out. Or, in the case of the Cuculate graders, I jump in and get washed up in the lake. So, yeah, that's what I do. And it's awesome. I can't wait to, I literally just took I literally took a cold shower, prior to, making this video, so that was pretty sweet. Oh, dang. I really thought that I was done with yawning for now. Oh well. So, that was really cool. See, newest episode of Hot Ones came out yesterday. Football, I did go pretty further in detail. Although, the beginning of that football game, I gotta say, it really looked like the Bears had them. At least defensively. Seriously, I think it was 3 and outs in a row where the Green Bay Packers didn't score a first down at all. In fact, I think it was in 2 drives, it was negative 17 yards. I'm like, yep. And my Cowboys have to play that down the line. It's not going to be fun, probably. You know what? I predict that my Cowboys are going to go 12-4. And admittedly, one of those losses is to the Bears, because we do go to Soldier Field. So, yeah. If that's a game we end up losing, I won't necessarily be too mad. Although, it's sad. The last time that Dallas played in Soldier Field, they were commemorating Mike Ditka's, either it was his Hall of Fame induction, or he got the Ring of Honor from the Bears, or he was just, there just because a lot of people don't know this about Mike Ditka. If it wasn't for the Dallas Cowboys, he wouldn't really have the notoriety that he has. I shouldn't say, yes, he became famous, playing for and coaching the Bears, But at one point, he was, in fact, a Dallas Cowboy. Yes, he was. In fact, some of what he learned from Dallas transferred into how he played as a Chicago Bear and how he coached the 1985 team. So, yeah. So, remember the Chicago. Ditka may be essentially your quote-unquote native son, but he probably wouldn't have gotten that without a little help from Dallas. Okay? Remember that. Not that I'm necessarily bragging about that, but a lot of football fans don't really remember that as often as they probably should. Just take a look at Khalil Mack, for instance. Yeah, he's thriving as a Chicago Bear, but it wasn't until just barely over a year ago, actually not even a year ago, that he was an Oakland Raider. So, actually, you know what? It was September 1st he was traded to the Bears from Oakland. And then 7 days later, he played his first game as a Chicago Bear and tore things up against the Packers. So, yeah. I think San Francisco 49ers tight end George Kittle was correct when he said Khalil Mack is just better than everybody else. And I am inclined to agree. Khalil Mack played great. Everyone who played... All the big names who were supposed to play great last night did exactly what they were supposed to. Aaron Rodgers, yeah, he did struggle, but he ultimately did find a way to score the only touchdown of the evening. Everyone on the Bears, they played phenomenally. Khalil Mack and Mitchell Trubisky, he did what he could. And they finally got themselves a kicker. The Chicago Bears finally got themselves a kicker. Although the story about the kicker was funny. Apparently, the kicker's father, Pinheiro, was a soccer player, but he wanted to, kick footballs or whatever. So he goes to a kicking camp in Alabama, and Nick Saban, the Alabama coach, gives him a full scholarship. But on the way back home, they go to Florida where the Gators are. And they liked it so much, and because they live closer to Florida, they went to Florida, and Nick Saban was not happy about that. So it's actually kind of funny, but no double doink. No double doink. Not now anyway. I don't think anyone's ever going to let that go. I'm sorry, Chicago, but the double doink was quite possibly the funniest thing I'd seen in any NFL playoff game since probably the final seconds of Super Bowl 49 with, that was the Seahawks-Patriots game. So, yeah. Although, in terms of field goal kicks, I would think that, actually, no. In terms of playoff games, Super Bowl 49 is still because let's be honest, the Super Bowl is technically a playoff game because, it's the playoff between the two best teams. Anyway, the funniest kick I think I'd seen up until the double doink was probably the Seahawks-Vikings divisional round game. After that kick happened where, the Vikings missed the winning field goal, there's this one guy who, imagine he's sitting like this, right? Or maybe he's sitting like this. No kidding. After the kick happened, he's like, no! And lays flat directly onto the ground. It was the funniest thing I think I'd ever seen in my entire life. He looked like he was a dead body after it was over. It was hilarious. So, yeah, that happened. Oh God, okay, please stop yawning. Man, the yawning is getting exhausting. I did not think that was possible. Maybe because it's starting to get colder outside in the morning. I did notice it was a little bit nippy out this morning. I really did. So, yeah, that was neat, I guess. Again, even though it was cold out, I was still sweaty after working out. So again, cold shower, which, is awesome. It feels great. I love that. Although, if you guys are wondering, no, I don't just simply turn on cold water and immediately go in. What I do is I turn the water on to warm and then slowly decrease the temperature of the water to a point where I can't really stand it anymore, and I keep it there for the duration of, washing myself, I suppose. So, yeah, I think that's what you're supposed to do. But again, I'm not an expert. All I know is that, taking cold showers, I feel better. My skin looks a lot better. My complexion's shinier, I suppose. Increases metabolism. It's actually good for the environment to take cold showers too. So that's really, helping out the environment. That's really cool. And yeah, now to counteract that with apparently a hot beverage. Oh yeah, apparently if you drink hot water, that's good for you too. So probably gonna go do that now, which would probably be a better alternative for coffee. Like, favorite, share, hit that subscribe button. Turn on those notifications on YouTube. Follow me on social media platforms. I am very humbled that I made this video for all of you guys to watch and enjoy. I am hopeful. Did I just say that wrong? Holy cow, I really am tired. I am humbled I made this video for all of you guys to watch and enjoy for today. I am hopeful we all have a wonderful, wonderful Friday, which kicks off a wonderful weekend. And remember, if any of you guys ever want to talk or chat, I'm always going to be here to lend an ear. And I'll always have your back. Take care and make good choices.